Back in June, when we had ICE raids, people were protesting because they were tired of the government overusing their power. And there's a situation where we had Captain Big Mac in Brevard County in Florida, and we had another sheriff in Austin.
Lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
I want people to protest. I will be there with you. I will facilitate that as best I can. Peaceful protest and peaceful assembly. Disarming, limiting the use of force, the coercion and intrusiveness. I don't want officers to have to make arrests. I don't want officers to use force. Focused, we target only harmful behaviors and conditions. So the goal is, within a crowd, agitators are really good at hiding behind people that are there to peacefully assemble. And what they do is they'll create this chaos. We're going to have targeted enforcement into those people and remove them from the protest and allow this protest to continue on.
You see the difference? Captain Big Mac over there should talk to Pete Hegseth about what he thinks about him if he's qualified to represent law enforcement, but I digress. Do you see how that sheriff in Austin, Texas, how she relayed the message? The same message. We're going to get the agitators. We want you to peacefully protest. In fact, she said, I will even protest with you. We're not going to tolerate people doing damage. But I don't want my officers to arrest anybody unless we have to. I would rather avoid that. That is leadership. That is being in control of her emotions. Now, Captain Big Mac over here, I'm going to shoot you dead, and you're going to come get your dental records, and my dog's going to get you. That is what's wrong with this country, which is why so many young little boys, physically, they're adults. Mentally, they're immature. These are the same group of kids that went to the racist podcasters, little whatever event you want to call them, because they don't know how to be real men. They believe in this society where they have to beat everybody down, where they're a hammer and everyone else is a nail. It's not masculinity. It's fear through control. 98% of gun deaths are men. The vast majority, white men. Not black, not Latino, not undocumented immigrants. White U.S. citizen, homegrown, made in the USA, white racist men. I wonder why they're so angry. Almost none of it's men, women, almost none of it. Did Martin Luther King go to violence? Did John Lewis go to violence? Did Kaepernick go to violence? Harriet Tubman? No, none of them. No violence there. But you didn't like the result of an election, so you beat police officers. You threatened to hang the vice president. You cut off their fingers, gorged out their eyes. Took a crap on the desk just because you didn't like something. That's a lot of the reason we're here as a society. There's no compassion, empathy. When you hear these little boys talk about God, Jesus, turn to Jesus or you're going to hell, look at what Jesus stood for. Compassion, kindness, loving thy neighbor, turning the other cheek, being the bigger person. They don't view Jesus as masculine. They view him as a little sissy man. They probably call him a radical left liberal. Who did MAGA choose 2,000 years ago? Barabbas, the murderous insurrectionist who murdered Christians. That's who they've always wanted. Who did they choose in 2016 and 2024? An adjudicated rapist who caused an insurrection, who's a convicted felon. Because to them, that's a real man. You have to roll with an iron hammer. And that is why they're not masculine, and that is why they're not Christians. They don't know how to be real men. And we have to do a better job. Just saying. In 249 years, we've never had a woman president, even though 50% of our country are women. It's funny how all the gun violence, all of the wars, almost all the conflicts are caused by men. Maybe, guys, it's time to put your fragile little ego away, your testosterone, shove it away in a cabinet. Maybe, just maybe, we're the problem. Maybe if we let women run this country, we wouldn't have these problems. What do you think? That's my 2 cents.